This segment of JTV News is brought to you by Clarence Thomas Limited, Infinite Solutions, and Caribbean Sellers.
Venezuela and Iran signed new cooperation agreements in several economic and social areas during the visit to Caracas by Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez and Ahmadinejad issued a joint declaration ratifying their countries' ties and signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at the training of specialists and the exchange of expertise in the field of nanotechnology. Iran's cooperation with Venezuela has helped in the construction of 10,000 homes, while another 7,000 housing units will be finished this year. The housing program expects to build a total of 34,000 homes to benefit 70,000 Venezuelans. Iran also contributed to the development of the local food industry of fruits, milk and fish, as well as a corn processing plant. Aiming at expanding the Venezuelan economy beyond oil exploitation, Iran helped to build 33 plants manufacturing vehicles like tractors and bicycles. Ahmadinejad arrives in Venezuela on Sunday as part of a four-nation Latin American tour. He stopped in Nicaragua on Tuesday to participate in the swearing-in ceremony of President Daniel Ortega, who assumes a new 5-year mandate. The Iranian president also visited Cuba on Wednesday, where he met with President Raul Castro and gave a key lecture at the University of Havana. The last leg of Ahmadinejad's Latin American tour is Ecuador on Thursday. Anguilla's Chief Minister and Minister of Finance, Hubert Hughes, has delayed signing of a provisional budget in response to Anguilla's Governor Alistair Harrison's delay in assenting the 2012 budget, which was passed late December. The governor said he was awaiting instructions from Britain officials who were not available after the Christmas holidays. Governor Harrison stated that the Chief Minister's announcement that he will not sign a provisional budget for a week is puzzling. The Anguilla governor said that the instructions to assent the budget are expected the first few days of January, and there is no need to withhold what is normal operating procedure in the circumstances. However, Chief Minister Hughes said the provisional budget would mean that Anguilla would be unable to put the 2012 budget into effect and become compromised in meeting the overall deadline set by the UK. In addition, it will jeopardize Anguilla's chances of receiving some $8 million EC in budgetary support from the European Development Fund, as was done last year. The Chief Minister also claimed that the British government's agenda in moving his 2 permanent secretaries is to replace them with UK personnel. With the start of the new year, Cayman Islands Premier Maki Bush says his government is focusing on 3 national goals that are within reach. The British Overseas Territory Premier outlined the Cayman Islands government's plans in his New Year's address.
Despite a shaky 2011, Premier Maki Bush believes progress was made over the past year. But he stresses Cayman is in a race against time.
The Cayman Islands does not have the luxury of waiting for the economy to turn around. We must act now.
He says there are key national goals in sight on which government must remain focused: a growing economy, stronger infrastructure, and stable finances. And his administration continues to rely on a handful of investors with whom it's dealt over the past year.
I trust that the people of these islands recognize how fortunate we are to have the good relationship with private sector groups such as the Economic Zone, the Narayanan Cayman University Medical Center, and DART.
The rough seas Cayman has been facing with dwindling cruise numbers aren't about to calm anytime soon. Construction on a new cruise port is still some time off.
This is a crucial but exciting time in tourism and throughout 2012. My government and our private sector partners will continue implementing innovative new initiatives.
These include a Market by the Sea in West Bay, a new purpose-built National Gallery, and upgrades to Cowood Beach in Bordentown. Also, the expansion and upgrade of airports on Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac.
Residents on Cayman Brac will be gratified to know that the Cayman Islands Airport Authority plans to redevelop Gerard Smith to enable international flights. This work should start in the first quarter of 2012.
With new guidelines handed down from London, government won't be borrowing more toward national debt, which should help it on its quest for more stable finances. Ben Mead, Cayman 27.
Guyana's rice production increased 11% last year to reach its highest ever level, earning the country more than $169 million. The government said the steady increase in production was due to continued investment in programs and initiatives aimed at supporting rice farmers through agencies such as the Guyana Rice Development Board. The board has been credited with the successful launch of 5 new rice varieties for commercial cultivation, 2 of which were launched in 2011, and another 14 strains are being tested and studied across the country to identify additional varieties for use in Guyana. Last year, Guyana and the oil-rich Venezuela signed a $54 million agreement for the supply of rice. More than 160,000 tons of the Guyana's rice exports went to Venezuela. Newly appointed Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has announced plans for the country to transition from a monarchy to a republic, removing Queen Elizabeth II as the head of state as provided for in the Jamaican Constitution. The decision to initiate the process of detachment comes as the country prepares to mark in August 50 years of independence from Britain. Prime Minister Simpson Miller said Jamaica needs to complete the circle of independence by having its own indigenous president. Under the Jamaican Constitution, the Queen is represented by a Governor-General who appoints the Prime Minister. Stating that the country is entering a new phase, the Prime Minister pledged to deepen regional integration, including through the establishment of the Caribbean Court of Justice in its final appellate jurisdiction. The CCJ was formed to replace the Privy Council as the region's final court of appeal. This is Walter Barrett for JTV News.